Good morning. Welcome back. So now, it's the 22nd of January 2024, and I have Silvana Sosoro, who is the Majority Whip at the National Assembly. Good morning, Mheshimiwa.
Good morning, Sam. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Since I haven't seen you, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. But although the year is now...
No. You're still in January.
Okay.
Just about 22 days.
Yeah, very true. Very
out
true.
of 366. And of course, we are still expecting Robert Mbui and Senator Ledama Olekina. As soon as they are here, they'll be joining the conversation. And today, like I told you, I want us to focus on three issues. And I didn't say mambo matatu. It's three issues, including the question of the Social Health Insurance Fund that the Court of Appeal has now cleared. We have seen the conversation about IMF saying that the government intends to exit from the G2G arrangement. The National Treasury says that's not noteworthy, bearing in mind that it has always been part of the strategy in as far as that G2G plan is concerned. We'll talk about that, but also the state of politics as different political parties are strategizing ahead of the 2027 contest. Some saying that they are going into grassroots mobilization. We understand the UDA party has planned for elections in April of this year. We'll see how that goes, but also the other political parties like the Wiper Party, whose National Executive Committee has sat down and resolved that they are going to front the name of Kalonzo Musyoka for the candidature in 2027. Now, in the front pages of the two dailies, which way Azimio is the question the Daily Nation is asking. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya has called a crucial meeting this Thursday that is expected to determine the future of the coalition and its membership amid internal wrangles over the Bomas National Dialogue Report and the CAM's presidential flag bearer in the 2027 State House contest. And then the big story on this Standard is Gachagua blames hidden hand for Mount Kenya troubles. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has claimed there is a political scheme to divide the region. He has warned local leaders to desist from being used to cause divisions, as they would be left alone since Mount Kenya will never join the bandwagon. Those are some of the two main stories on the Standard and the Daily Nation. Honorable Osoro, because you come from the UDA party, the plan was to have the elections in December. That didn't happen. You said that will be postponed to April of this year. Is that still the plan, or what's going on there?
That is still the position. UDA is a very consultative party. And it's a party that listens to what members want. Yeah. So when initially the leadership announced for the elections in December, people felt it wasn't the right time then to have elections. Of course, we had just come from the general elections, just about 12 months, or rather 14 or thereabout. And as obvious, you all know that campaigns are very expensive, very committing. So people felt with the situation of the country, it wasn't necessary to hold elections in December. And after further and extensive consultations, we felt it wise to push it to April of this year. Right. So the position still holds. Okay. Unless otherwise, but still consultations are on.
All right. Yeah. Consultations to do what?
Of course, there are people still who feel April is also too soon. Okay. The party has decided it's April. There are members who suggested April. There are other members that feel it should again be extended further.
Why? What's the problem? It's just an election.
I mean, it's just their opinion, because there are reasons. Because, as I said, elections are very expensive. They feel membership drive hasn't really been widely spread, and registration hasn't been done as much. So...
Would you know how many members you now have?
No, I wouldn't know. I don't want to speak on behalf of the party.
Okay.
If you ask me anything Parliament, I am okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
All right, now we have someone else. Robert Mbui is in studio. We'll be miking him shortly so that he can join the conversation. But while at it, so I'm looking at that story that is on the Standard. Gachagua blames hidden hand for Mount Kenya troubles. What is this? How you understand it?
You know, politics is a game of, exchange and visions and, interests. And what I understand is Gachagua is the current Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and the topmost leader from the Mount Kenya region. That doesn't stop anybody from dreaming. It's normal for any person to dream, and it's okay for the leaders within the cycle of Mount Kenya to also dream. But what Gachagua is saying is that this is, and which I agree with him, that it's premature to have such a dream now, when there are so many things that bedevil the people of Mount Kenya and the country at large. So it's not the right time for politics. It's not the right time to fight for supremacy in the region. And in any case, supremacy over what? Yeah. When elections are about 4 years away. If there is a supremacy that we should be having as a people, is a supremacy for the service of the people, not the supremacy of who is taking over from who. And the discussion that we've been hearing is the discussion about 2032. Can you imagine how somebody starts a discussion publicly about 2032? It really doesn't make sense. So what Gachagua is saying is that he believes there is a hidden hand of someone, an invisible person maybe, and it's nothing can be further from the truth anyway. And there is nothing wrong again to speculate, because politics, nothing happens by chance.
Whose hand would that be?
I mean, it could be anybody. It could be the other wannabes in the presidential contest of 2020. It can actually be Olekina. Or it can be Mbui. I mean, it can be any person who believes that...
Don't do that with me, because if you're claiming and associating yourself with the views of one Rigathi Gachagua, can you first listen to what he said to the younger politicians in the region?
Nyinyi vijana, William Ruto amechaguliwa juzi, mwaka moja. He has 9 years to go. You are talking about succeeding him. Munataka kurithi munataka kugawa mzee akiwa hai. Surely, you people, what is you young people, what is the problem? President has just been elected. Si ni mwaka moja. Ati watu naanza kusema ati ni mimi ati huyu ndio atasucceed yet 2032. Kwanza, it is disrespectful to the president. Hiyo ni kukosa heshima kwa kiongozi.
All right, so that's the Deputy President. Of course, you're speaking at an event sometime last week on his frustration, or his, not frustration, but he was displeased with the sort of sentiments that came from Murang'a County. I think it was the Member of Parliament for Gatanga, Mureu, who was saying that in 2027, the Deputy President should be Ndindi Nyoro, or rather the Deputy President candidate for William Ruto. And of course, we are joined by Robert Mbui, Member of Parliament for Kathiani constituency, but also the Deputy Minority Leader at the National Assembly. Senator Ledama Olekina is also the Minority Whip at the Senate. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And great to see you here. So, Honorable Osoro was explaining something on what exactly his annoyance is, but you see, he's saying that we are 9 years to the end of the term. That assumes a lot of things. But also, learning from history, this has happened before. People have started to scheme way too early.
Exactly. Number one, I wanted to also probably... I'm wearing the shoes of Honorable Gachagua. I believe that it's normal for any person to appear the way he is, or rather to express himself the way he's expressing himself, because he's also wondering, although he's unbothered though, and like what you had said that maybe he's worried or something, he's really unbothered because he's very busy. But when you put yourself in his position, it is normal for any person to question. I mean, really, it's just 1 year after elections. There are so many things that this country, is going through currently. The economic challenges, the issues of, the issues of joblessness, the issues of food security that we need to tackle as a country, infrastructure and everything. The discussion about 2032 is quite premature and it's unnecessary. What he was saying is actually is advising us, some of the young politicians like myself and any other person, that it's normal to have a dream. And it's okay to have a dream. But it is not okay to share that dream now You know, that is being selfish. You're talking about your dream now when you should be helping your people currently with the position that you're holding. So really, he's not really bothered. Okay. And I do not understand why we're really making this whole thing a mountain out of such a... He's not really bothered. Honorable Gachagua is very busy.
Maybe because he's coming from the mountain.
He's actually very busy. He's holding meetings about helping the president to achieve his agenda. He's unbothered with the sentiments made by my colleagues.
All right. Honorable Mbui, Happy New Year. But also, we saw your party, the National Executive Committee, saying that you will front the name of Kalonzo Musyoka for candidature in 2027. What is the plan there, even as you respond to what Rigathi Gachagua may be saying?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. And again, Happy New Year, and also to our viewers. First and foremost, I would like to, you know, my colleague, Honorable Osoro, is a comedian. He's a very good comedian. He can entertain Kenyans here on this talk show, and he's not serious. Because, I mean, look at the number of lies that he has told on national TV. First and foremost, he says Rigiji is unbothered. I mean, Rigiji has mobilized all those leaders, and the only statement that comes out of that meeting from every single one of those elected leaders, you know, is that he should be allowed to continue being the kingpin in the region. So you cannot say he's unbothered. He's really bothered. It's obviously bothered him a lot. Secondly, you're talking about, you know, I remember during the campaigns, this team of Kenya Kwanza kept telling us that, you know, as we are not interested in positions. And look at the fight. It's a fight for positions now. Who's going to be deputy president? Who's going to be what? They've pushed the agenda of a prime minister. I mean, the same things they told us they're not interested in just a year and a half ago is the things that they're actually proving to us are what, you know, they actually stood for. And the issue of early campaigns that Osoro here has said that they're starting campaigns early. His own party leader started campaigning immediately after the election of 2017. In fact, the former president said, you know, my deputy anatangatanga. That's where the word tangatanga came from, because instead of actually supporting the president in the agenda, he went out on an early campaign. So this is it's just payback time. What's happening is a script that was you know, written by his own leader. And then do not call ambitions dreams. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Ndindi Nyoro is not dreaming. He has ambitions. Ndindi Nyoro is serving a second term as a member of parliament. Rigiji served only one term. So why should Rigiji tell Ndindi not to have ambition? I mean, any politician has ambition. Now, coming back to our issue of...
the sponsors.
You know, now, and then that's another obvious lie. Why would we be sponsoring a person of Kenya Kwanza to fight in Kenya Kwanza? We have no interest. We are taking over the government in 2027. That's our plan. Not to support Kenya Kwanza to have a fight, you know, among themselves. Anyway, now, on the issue of my party leader, yes, you know, Sam, every political party is formed with the sole aim of winning political power. And you can do that alone, or you can do that with coalitions. But every party has to have a plan. So WIPA as a party, which is a parliamentary recognized party, a national party, we have no other alternative but to also put our best foot forward. Mm-hmm. We have a candidate we think that would help the country. And I mean, we are comparing him to the current leadership because our party leader is God-fearing. We know this team told us they're God-fearing, but Shakahola happened, we realized maybe that wasn't exactly it. Our party leader is a person who's clean.
Was it caused by the current administration?
It happened within that, and these are the people who are praying for them. These are the people who are sitting in State House, you know, praying for them.
Honorable Mbui, can you actually blame the current administration for the atrocities in Shakahola?
I can say that they used the church badly. And I think that was obvious. I mean, they went all over the place doing harambes, buying, you know, church leaders, and we were told Kitawaramba, and it has turned against us. I feel that there was a pretense of being, you know, how do I put it, you know, religiously aligned. But what we have seen is that people who really are God-fearing would not punish Kenyans as much as this regime is punishing us. I mean, on a daily basis.
So what is WIPA and Kalonzo Musyoka's plan?
To vie for the presidency in 2027.
So how do you make that happen?
What do you mean, Sam? What do you make that happen? We told the country we have a candidate, and then in 2027, we put him forward. Who will campaign?
You told the country the same in 2013 and 2017 and 2022.
Yeah, I didn't say it. He said it. Now we have said as a party. It is not him saying. It is a National Executive Council of the party that is saying Kalonzo Musyoka has to vie in 2027. That is what we have said.
But there are competing interests within the Azimio coalition.
Yes, but we are part of Azimio coalition. So even other parties will probably front their candidates and will find a mechanism of competition towards the end. But we are saying our candidate is Kalonzo Musyoka. That is our plan.
Okay. Let's listen to some meetings that have been steered by the ODM party leader, Raila Odinga. He was in Busia, and this happened a few days ago.
Ndugu zetu tunataka tukae nao, hamutaki tukae nao, hamutaki sawa. Kama hamutaki tutasema wae sawa. Najua kuna kitu mnataka kuniambia tukiwa wawili, si ndio? Tulia. Najua vijana si lazima useme sana. Nikiangalia kijana najua kuna kitu anataka kunitungia, si ndio? Sasa tufanye hivi, tulia. Hiyo ndio mchuzi ya siasa. Watu watapata dawa yao. Kama mtu anataka fujo, dawa yake ni nini? Sio. Sisi wana ODM ni watu wa amani. Hatutaki fujo. Hatutusi mtu. Tunataka siasa sanifu. Siasa ambayo inaangalia maslahi ya wananchi wote.
All right. That was an event in Busia County. Of course, the members of the public heckled the governor of that area, Paul Otuoma. And of course, the voices thereafter came, including that of Raila Odinga. Senator Ledama Olekina, this is your party. And there has been that effort to strengthen it further in the grassroots. What is that plan looking like, even as the bigger picture of Azimio comes into place? What would be those actions that you're taking ahead, in 2024 to strengthen that coalition or even the political party from what you would know?
I think it's important to look at where we've come from and where we're heading to. ODM as a political party is a party which is a national party and a very strong party in that sense. And there have been a feel in the grassroots that we need to be able to get more people registered as members of the ODM party. This has been going on nationally. And we're going to be looking at grassroots elections and also member recruitment in Narok County around maybe March. So I think this is an ongoing exercise that we want to be able to continue strengthening the party. And we're quite happy that a lot of people who were disgruntled previously that shifted camp to join UDA have now found their way back into the party. So the party is getting stronger each and every day. I think we are looking at trying to strike a balance between the priorities of the party and also the future of our party as ODM. So I can say we're very strong and we're looking forward to recruiting more, and I want to urge more people to continue joining the party. You know, ODM is a member of Azimio, yes. And I hold the view that we are stronger together, and we're also calling upon all our colleagues in affiliate parties of Azimio to be able to stand strong. There's nothing wrong in having ambitions on who should become a political the candidate in 2027, but I think it's imperative that at the moment we strengthen our parties and then we bring everything on the table. So really, anyone can be able, we just have to be able to strike a balance between our immediate electoral needs and also the future of our party.
And does ODM still hold the desire to form government at some point? Absolutely,
absolutely. I mean, as a party, we have definitely got a lot of desire. We've got a lot of ambitions. And, you know, being the biggest party in the country, of course, it will be wrong for me to say that we do not hold any desire. We do. But yet again, I have to say that we are brothers in Azimio, and we are going to hold together. You know, sometimes I hear people coming up with some arguments that we are falling apart. You see sensational, you know, news headlines like which way Azimio. And you can actually tell that these are being sponsored by people who want to see a division. We are a very strong coalition and will continue being strong. So all these are hula baloos, I can tell you. Any meeting that we hold, we bring together. And I think we've got internal mechanism. And one thing that I like a lot about Azimio is that we're a true democratic coalition. You know, we deal with our differences, you know, but ultimately we come out strong together.
You see, that's interesting. You're actually saying that ODM is the biggest party in the country. How are you measuring that?
As a single party. You know, if you look at UDA as an example, UDA is an amalgamation of different political parties brought together.
No.
But ODM, yes, it is.
It's a party on its own.
No. A lot of parties were collapsed. They were forced to collapse to be able to form one party.
They collapsed.
But now let me put it this way. Even until today, you still hear people saying, no. We are being forced into this marriage. We don't want to be in it. But historically, ODM has always been the strongest party. It has been the one single party that had many, elected leaders.
You said that you're holding together, and that story that is on the Daily Nation, which Azimio is sponsored. But there is real division about NADCO, the National Dialogue Committee report. The principals are looking at it differently. The Council of Azimio has not met since the election, the council that is headed by Uhuru Kenyatta.
I believe we had many other priorities rather than just holding a meeting, every single time to hold a meeting. And I've just tried to explain to you that we're a democratic party. So everyone is entitled to their views. So I don't know why you consider this as a division. There's nothing division about it. It's democracy at play. If I have all my views about the report, I bring it on the table. We debate. Once we debate, ultimately, we have a common position which we go through. I don't know why people try to bring in issues where there are no issues that exist. The issue here is this. Are we democratic as Azimio? Yes, we are. Let me tell you, even selecting members to be able to go into the dialogue, it is not cherry picking. It's actually something which is brought on the table. And my colleague Mbowe can tell you. We discuss and say, this gentleman should be able to represent us, this other one, and everyone says yes. So really, I think we've got to separate, democracy from hula baloos.
And what you say was that happening in Busia, the heckling of Governor Tuoma and Raila Odinga saying that huu ndio mchuzi wa siasa, people get what they plant.
I think Raila was very clear that, at the moment, when you're a member of ODM, when you're a member of Azimio, you've got to practice and preach Azimio. So at any given time when you are seen to be dancing, of course people will be disgruntled, and it is politics. People raise issues. So when you're a member of a party, you need to be able to have loyalty to that party, So when people feel like you're dancing, and we've disciplined members. We've de-whipped members who have continued dancing with the enemy. So really for us, the gentleman sitting on my right, I don't consider him a friend politically. He's my enemy. Because whatever he does things to try and crush me. So for me, I also have to destroy him. So really, you cannot, if you're an ODM member, an Azimio member, you've got to behave. You've got to follow the rules and regulations of our party. Period.
Interesting. Thank God you qualified what an enemy means in this context. It's now 3 minutes past 7 o'clock. We're taking a short break here. When we come back, we are going to the matters of the government agenda in 2024, especially on the question of social health insurance, a fund that got reprieve sometime last week after the Court of Appeal lifted some orders against it by the High Court. After the break.